Good afternoon. I'm Wesley Saunders, NFL veteran and community activist. Now, as some of you may or may not know, I have been working vigorously to get back into the National Football League these past few seasons. Now, I'll be the first to admit that my career didn't get off to the best of starts off the field because of my own immaturity. I got suspended my first 2 seasons in the NFL, and 22-year-old Wes wasn't making a lot of sense. But I turned things around quickly. I learned about myself spiritually, mentally, and physically. I was on the outside of the NFL looking in due to no one's fault but my own, so I knew I had to take drastic measures in order to get on the minds and brains of these GMs and coaches and front offices. I've handwritten letters. I played in the Alliance of American Football League, 2 NFL spring leagues. I've made calls myself. I even sent out these cool little boxes to all 32 teams with handwritten letters from myself in there. No response. So I decided to hit the road like a salesman. Think of a Girl Scout, but instead of selling those delicious Thin Mint cookies, I was selling myself, a world-class athlete who had learned from his mistakes and was ready to show the world what a redemption story really looks like. First stop on the Why Not West tour. Wesley Saunders used to be an employer here. They know me. It be happening all the time. Yeah, hello? Unfortunately, that message was misconstrued totally by the Seattle Seahawks.
No, I don't.
Nice guy.
Prefer to have.
Oh, you don't prefer that? Oh well, I put it on me. I'm being charged with trespassing right now. So if I come back here, excuse me, trespass warning. If I show up again, I'm getting arrested, guys. Sometimes it don't work out like you want it to. They just gave me a trespassing warning here at the Seahawks facility. They told me if I show up here within the next 365 days, they'll arrest me. So time to get on out of here. Why Not West? Hello. Hi. Now, perhaps I may have been a bit over-exuberant in my approach to this, but I didn't do anything illegal. I didn't hurt anyone. Before I even got back to the East Coast, I had a BOLO out for me. Now, if you're not familiar with BOLO, it stands for Be on the Lookout, a term coined in the 1940s by the American Police Department, usually looking for people of color. Let me just read to you exactly what this BOLO says. Wes Saunders has been attempting to gain access to numerous NFL teams' facilities in the recent past. He sent an email to Coach Pagano stating that he will be entering the Colts complex when he leaves Seattle. He was trespassed from the Seattle Seahawks complex this week. He will be trying to gain access to the complex. It's not a matter of if, but when. I've never been arrested. I've never been in trouble with the law. I've never put my hands on a woman. But that didn't stop this kind of information from being spewed about and having people actually fear me. Now, in this day and age, it's pretty obvious how information like this can be hazardous to someone like myself. The crazy part about this whole thing is I was never supposed to even see this stuff. There was an intern who worked for the Indianapolis Colts at the time who actually posted this BOLO on her Snapchat making fun of me, and somebody actually screenshot it and sent it to me. So this information actually was sent to all 32 teams in the NFL behind closed doors. Now, I don't want to automatically assume that this defamatory information that was being passed around is the sole reason for me not being in the NFL, but I can assure you this, if I was the GM of a team and I saw this, I wouldn't want to go near this guy either. So whether I make it back into the National Football League or not, this needs to be addressed. I consider myself to be a community leader and an activist in the black community, and this kind of information, false, defamatory, defiling information, doesn't help my cause at all. Which raises the question, what's the criteria for someone to have gotten his life back on track, according to the NFL? I don't know anyone in the history of the National Football League who's ever received a BOLO, because y'all sure didn't do Richie like this.
He is Richie Incognito, one of the toughest linemen in the NFL, but also one of the most troubled. Police soon conclude that Incognito, at this time in a temporary exile from pro football, is exhibiting bizarre behavior and place him on psychiatric watch.
Start with that bizarre and scary situation in Scottsdale. A former NFL player arrested, accused of threatening to shoot employees at a funeral home yesterday.
Richie Incognito not saying much as he walked out of the Scottsdale jail this afternoon. This is the same player who was suspended after he was accused of bullying a teammate with the Miami Dolphins back in 2013.
We're going to do our best to help him off the field. He's going to turn 36 in July. He plays a position that right now we would like to have some competition in. So we feel like it's a win-win for both sides.
Now, I don't have anything against Mr. Incognito, and I hate to even bring his name up in this kind of context. But There has to be some kind of criteria for which the NFL judges players on whether or not they have rehabilitated themselves and made themselves worthy of a second or third chance. I appreciate everyone out there who has been supporting me thus far in my journey. I continue to try to fight and thrive to get back on the field as I'm in the best shape of my life, and I hope to see you all on the field soon. Why not Wes?